Mass Peanut. My first one. Mass Peanut, did you get a notification? Let me know. Thursday. I'm a little late. I see it. I know it. Took a little bit of extra time at the gym. Good. I'm glad, Mass Peanut. How you doing? What do you got going on? Today was back day for me. It was a good one. West Side Neighborhood 40s. What is up? It's piss. It's sickening. Good morning. Do I do cardio 7 days a week? No, I don't. Have I in the past? Yes. Contest prep days? Absolutely. But now I do it 5 days a week. And it wouldn't be a bad idea for me to do the cardio on the weekend. One of the things that keeps me going with the cardio is the cardio Q&As. I really enjoy doing this with you guys. I want to be able to reach out and touch as many people as I can and help out as many people as I can. It's fun. But my schedule being so much different on the weekends, I kind of just dedicate that time to my wife. You know, and if I wanted to do the cardio Q&A, wouldn't be that big of a deal, but or if I wanted to just get some cardio in, I suppose I could not be lazy and bust out 15 minutes a hit or something on the stair machine that I got right in my gym that I don't use at all. But I do my cardio 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Dom, good morning. Robert, good morning. All right, let's walk a little faster. I'm walking a little slow. I didn't realize how slow I was going. Nathan, not notifying you. Well, that's bullshit. So good news, guys. There's only a couple of you on here right now. So I'll let you know I finally shot the first training video with Chris Luke yesterday. He did great. He worked really hard. I'm proud of him. And if all of the videos go like this, you guys are going to love him, man. It was a fucking, excuse my language, damn good video yesterday. We did back for the first one. Had him take his shirt off, show you the starting point. He's very lean. We're going to put some weight on him, get him growing. I gave a lot of education in this one, and I think you guys will learn a lot from this video. There's some jokes in there, but it's a good, intense workout. How's the pregnancy going? How far along is she? She was 25 weeks. Now, the baby, according to the app, is the size of a eggplant or a moulignon if you're a guinea like me. She's been doing very, very good. She had a really nasty cold last week. It was making me nervous and coughing up a storm. So she got on, the doctor put her on Z-Pak. Erythromycin is okay for pregnant women. Listen, when you're pregnant, you can't take shit. Now, there's probably a lot of stuff that you could take that would be okay. There's just no study on it. There's no study, so they don't want to risk it, of course, right? Who's going to volunteer when they're pregnant to be a part of the is it okay to take Mucinex study, you know? So there really isn't any study on this stuff. The at-home remedy that I made her from the doctor, I honestly think made her more sick. So anyway, there's that. I'm glad she's better now, and we'll go from there. Snow in Connecticut, Mancini? Oh my God. You're right, buddy. You're right. I'm glad. Oh, we got Brazil on the house. What up? Good morning. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get these training videos out on my YouTube, guys. This is the kind of content that I want to do. Glad I have a new camera guy that can be with it. So we got right now. I'm part of the reason why I'm late. I'm being a very, very nosy neighbor. I'm being a nosy neighbor and I'm peeping out the window because there's an ambulance and 2 cop cars. Really, I'm just hoping that everybody's okay, or whoever it is okay. I don't want to see anybody get nervous. They got a stretcher out there. So here we go. Oh man, I bet you. Oh, in Erie, ooh, I bet you it's cold as hell up there. No, thank you. You guys can have it. What is the best area to inject HGH? That comes from RV Flex One. Good question. Listen, GH is designed to be done subcutaneously. They made it like that on purpose. And if they wanted it to be done intramuscular, they would have designed it that way. Any kind of pharmaceutical grade GH, they tell you to do it subcutaneous. Now, that being said, bodybuilders always mess around with medications. So, personally, anywhere where you've got easy skin or fat to grab, whether it be, your lower abdomen, just like somebody that's doing an insulin shot, pinch the skin together, boop, slide it right in. Now, look, that's the way I typically do it. I hold a little bit of weight here on the side in that love handle area, pop it right up in there, it goes in nice. Now, you got to be careful when you're very lean to avoid, I've accidentally hit like the veins in my lower abs when I'm very lean, which is not the case for me now, and it'll bruise up, hurt. You don't want that. Now, a lot of bodybuilders do their GH intramuscular. They stick it right in their shoulders. You can do that. It just changes the speed of the delivery. A delivery of a subcutaneous injection and a delivery of an intramuscular injection are not the same. Even if it's the same stuff, if you inject testosterone subcutaneous, which a lot of guys that microdose are doing that now, it gets in your system at a much different rate than if you do it intramuscular. But personally, I think you're gonna get the great results regardless of where you put the HGH. It's just easy to just do it into the lower abdomen subcutaneously. Dom, you got to make today's leg day a forced rest day. What's going on? The snow's keeping you out? Let's see. Grim Destroyer says, can I ask, is protein a good source to gain weight and muscle? I'm low weight and I'm struggling to gain any. I don't know what else to do. I'm 120 pounds, being told it's too low. Well, Grim Destroyer, let's go through some of this. Are you male? Are you female? If you're male, I don't know how tall you are, but yeah, 120 pounds is low. How old are you? There's a lot of factors that go into this. This is what I tell people. Listen, the protein broken down in your body into various amino acids, those are the building blocks of life. All those different amino acids do different things in your body. So if the protein is not there, you cannot grow. That being said, weight gain comes from calories. The more calories you consume versus the calories that you're burning, the weight will go up. Now, personally, I want to be able to make sure I'm supplying my muscles with enough food and also have an adequate amount of muscle so I can grow. Therefore, I eat a relatively high protein diet. Carbohydrates are an energy source, which I train in the morning fasted so I don't go crazy with my carbs during the day. Because excess carbohydrate that isn't burned up, that's stored glycogen, excess turns into essentially fat. Although that's a very layman's description of it. Now you have your fats, especially essential fats. They're fats that you get from various food sources, animal fats, but you can get essential fats from seed oils and things like that too, have other roles that they play in your body. And so it's good to have a nice combination of all of it. But if you're not eating enough protein and you're going to the gym, you're not going to grow. Brock Lesnar, a lot of the guys in prison call me Brock Lesnar. Not Goldberg. I'd rather look like Goldberg than Brock Lesnar. What else do I got on here, guys? Yeah, so get those calories in, Grim Destroyer. Bolshoi Kush, Brigham Benjamin, Blow Me Away or 3 Days Grace, I Am Machine. Breaking Benjamin. I saw Breaking Benjamin live. They were pretty good. They opened up for, who they opened up for? Was it Tool, maybe? At a concert that I went to. Do you think Arnold was a gatekeeper to prevent others to challenge him? Serge Nubret got smeared because of Arnold with false rumors. He definitely didn't deserve the 1980 Olympia. A highly controversial Olympia. I think obviously the judging was done quite a bit differently back then. And I think perhaps that's true. Now, I can look at it from a number of ways, guys. Mr. Olympia has been controversial for a long time. Some shows, it seems to be pretty clear cut. There's usually some sort of argument over who's winning, with exception to most of the Ronnie years. Although there have been some dominant years, like the 08 Olympia with Dexter Jackson winning was an interesting one. Anyway, so that being said, Joe Weider may have really wanted to protect his star player. That was his star player. And you see that happen in sports. I think that the industry is so big now. It's a lot different than it was back then. I don't know if there is the need for that. But there have been other Olympias that were controversial, where maybe the guy who won didn't deserve to win. So, Pacino or De Niro, who's from these two actors, Italian people in your community respect more? Well, I think De Niro lost a lot of respect. A lot of the strange liberal comments that he made the last couple years. People really loved both of those guys for a long time, but I've seen people that have basically been like F De Niro now in the community because of a lot of his strange liberal comments. This is why if you're an actor, it's good to shut the fuck up, excuse my language, and just entertain people and not get into politics, I understand wanting to have an impact on the community, but man, if you're not on the winning team, like, listen, Taylor Swift, she's going to kick ass no matter what. She wasn't on the winning team. Her fan base, if it was only based on her fan base, then yes, we would have a different president coming into office. But, I think that what happens is, you look at myself, right? I'm on a small scale. I put out a video that I was very proud of our country making the right decision. And I lost about 1,000 followers on my Instagram, right? So, I got 106 or whatever thousand. So you think about that, I lost a percentage of my following over one video. So just think about this. If you're somebody like Robert De Niro, right, and if you could lose 1% of your following when you're at 1 million, right? And it's these numbers add up to those people as far as movie ticket sales, this and that. You really, in my opinion, are better off when you're in the position of entertainment to shut up, because you're entertaining. The goal is to entertain everybody. You're not a political commentator. That being said, listen, you look at people who were on the other side, and now you got people that are really behind that person. I really like him now. So, tricky. But I would say the short answer to that question is De Niro lost a lot of respect. They're both a little crazy in their old age, though. I think you can see that. Man, I hate Brock Lesnar, man. Brock Lesnar's a huge dude. Did I see the cops are having the Tesla trucks now? That's pretty cool. I did not see that. Interesting. Nathan goes with Blow Me Away on that choice. Yeah, I think so. Favorite roast and favorite roaster. You know, I haven't really committed myself to a lot of the roasts. I've seen highlights from a bunch of them. I saw a bunch of highlights from the Tom Brady roast. I actually thought it was pretty funny to see Kim Kardashian up there roasting. And also I love to see when Martha Stewart came back out of prison and did that roast, and she was badass up there. I thought that was really cool. But there's some of these comedians are savage with the roasts, and it's funny. You know, it's funny, that cringe type of humor. But I haven't committed myself to a lot of the roasts. Now, you want to go back in time, go way back. You know, comedians like Don Rickles, who a lot of the young people won't notice, man, they would roast people right in the crowd at a show, cut them up. People are so soft now, they can't handle stuff like that anymore. Bolshoi Kush says, Ronnie lost in 2001, 2002, and maybe '05. Jay was pissed. That '05 was a war. The '05 was a war. You got to look at the Olympias. Did Ronnie deserve to win the first one? I mean, it was really, Flex Wheeler was amazing. It's tough. Ronnie deserved to beat Kevin. And then again, like you said, in those later years, with Jay really battling him hard, tough to say. Mancini says De Niro is a horrible person. Okay, so Van Halen, ain't talking about Love or Kiss. I love it loud. I'm going with Kiss on that one. That particular song. I've never been the biggest Kiss fan. They got a couple songs I like, but I'm going with Kiss on that one. Do I keep my posing trunks? Honestly, man, I think I might have some somewhere in a box, but once I was done with bodybuilding for good, I don't even know where that stuff is. Joe Weeder has said Robbie Robinson had a better physique than Arnold behind closed doors. He definitely had a prettier physique, absolutely. Melanie, good morning. Melanie, you got the pills? Drew Barrymore is crazy. Arnold called Robbie the N-word when he potentially could lose to Robbie and said there shouldn't be blacks in this room. Then he calls Trump Nazi, so full of shit. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Bolshoi Kush says Pacino is the man, keeps quiet about politics. I think that is a better way to do it. And back on to the old school guys, right? Dean Martin, classic. Right? With the drink. It was a different time back then. Listen, back then, we go back in time. A lot of the jokes back then now people would say are racist and you can't say. People are just really soft now. Get into the full comedian talk. You know I love my Dave Chappelle. If the Brazilian businessman would come back into my life, Bolshoi Kush, with that money in the briefcase, I'd be happy to make some moves. Oh, good. I'm glad, Melanie. Who was it, Melanie? Who did you wind up getting him from? Blackstone? Mancini, be cautious with it the first time, brother. Be cautious with it. Seki Chin says, hey, brother PG, a family friend of mine has recently gone to prison for white-collar crime. Any advice on how we can provide support to him as best as possible? Yes, I can give you great advice on that. First of all, I'm sorry that that's happened. Prison's a terrible place to be, and in my opinion, white-collar criminals do not belong in prison. It's crazy that they stick us in there. But the good news is he's probably going to a camp. Do you know what camp he's going to? The federal, if it's federal prison camp, there is no real violence at the camps. You know, it sucks bad being there, but there's not gangs and stuff like that. So there's a couple things that you could do that make a very big difference. Number one, make sure he's got money on his books. So the person I had in charge of that while I was in prison was my dad. Hey man, please make sure there's money on my books every month. So anytime when people were like, hey, can we support PJ? Yes, they could put money on my books, but what I told them, because I enjoy to read, is tell people to send me books. You just go right on Amazon, have it sent that way, boom, they'll send it right to the prison, straight in there. And man, those books were a blessing for me. I was so happy when people were sending me books, because I really did my time with books. Also, letters, man, when you're in prison, you get mail and you have a letter, it makes you feel so good to get those letters. A handwritten letter, you just think, man, somebody took the time to sit down and write me this. How beautiful is this? My assistant, Teresa, wrote me a letter every week that I was in prison. And they were weird-ass letters. I'm not going to lie. She didn't know what to say a lot of the time. But it meant a lot to me that she took the time to do that, because not that many people get mail in prison. You see, they put a list up every night for the mail. And, you know, people look at the list and they walk away kind of bummed out. It's nice to get that mail. But the number one thing for sure is keeping that money on the books so they can buy the good stuff on the commissary, because the food is terrible. So if you have money on your books, you can eat off that commissary. The commissary is such a big deal in prison that guys that don't have money on the outside, right, they will break the law inside in order to get money for commissary or for people to buy them stuff on commissary. Oh, good, Melanie. If you were a professional stripper or private dancer, which two songs would you pick for your dance routine? Genuine Pony, definitely. Genuine Pony, number one. And probably R. Kelly, Bump and Grind, number two. Number three, sleeper pick, would be Dave Chappelle, I Want to Piss on You. I want to piss on you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to pee on you. Classic. Did I have a period of time when I religiously followed my ex through social media? So, actually, no. Thankfully. For starters, my last ex, I don't want to talk about that much, that tried to like shame me on the internet and everything else, blocked me, and I didn't want to worry about it anyway. Because I was scared of her. But, no. I've never been, I think, first of all, men and women are very different. And I'm not speaking for all men, because there are guys that are crazy, I know. But I find that women in relationships put way more into paying attention on social media than men do. I'm going to be dead up honest with you guys, and I don't think, you know, I don't think this is crazy at all, but I don't even look at Marissa's social media unless I'm on the toilet pooping and it comes up in my thing, right? I click on it, you know what I mean? I'm with her every day, blah, blah, blah. So what am I going to see that's on her social media? I know girls, lots of them, that look at their man's social media so closely. Why is he following this girl? Why did he like this girl's picture? What the fuck is that? Why did he like this girl's picture? And I can tell you, I've been in relationships with girls that, first of all, in the industry that I'm in, I've sponsored so many girls over the years, done so many things with girls, that I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Sometimes I have inadvertently liked a pic just because, I like this pic, you know what I mean? And been put on the spot by certain people. Hey, who's this girl? I don't know, show her to me. Her name is so-and-so, I don't know, show her to me. Oh yeah, I used to sponsor that girl. Oh, I trained her for a show, whatever, da-da-da. That's how, like, little of an impact it has on me. There's a lot of women that are like, he liked this girl's picture. Hell no, there's something going on. I think that's absolutely insane. I've never had the interest in that or the time to do that. I honestly don't care who my partner is looking at or whatever. You know what I mean? I assume with any of the girls that I've been with, because they're always pretty, I assume there's dudes in the DMs like crazy. Because dudes are in DMs way more than women. You know it, guys. And ladies, you know it too. Every now and then, lady, you might have a guy that you think is cool or whatever. You might send him a quick message in his DM. Most of the time, it's not going to be your vagina or something like that. Although I have gotten those over the years. I've gotten the random vagina. I will say it. It's a weird position that I was in, being in a powerful position in the industry that I'm in. Unexpected, unknown vagina is like, hello. But it's just way more common the other way. So I assume that dudes are DMing Marissa all the time because she's pretty. I know they were DMing the shit out of Celeste all the time because she was a famous wrestler. I don't fucking care at all. I really don't. And I think it's so weird. Now, on one hand, I will say there was a point in my life before prison that I thought, no, I knew that I was so cool that I was definitely better than anybody that was going to be inside the DMs, unless it was like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'd bow down there. The Rock's pretty cool, right? He's a badass. So I don't care. This guy DM'd me. I don't care. But listen, you flip it around, woo. Girls will get mad over the ugly girl that DMs you. That bitch DM you. You're like, she only has one eyeball. Whatever, she's a one-eyed slut. So it's just a totally different, guys. So to go back to that question, no, I've never followed any of my exes to see what they're doing. I've heard people tell me shit, not about my other ex, because I think everyone's scared about that one, but Celeste, people are like, what did you do to her? I'm like, nothing. She wanted a divorce. So, I don't pay attention. You know what, Mancini? It can elevate your heart rate back to the euphoria, but it's a short period of time, and then it'll relax you. Red Devil says, you are lucky to have a wife. I am blessed. Thank you. Thank you very much. I know it. Let's see. Adam the Goat says, hey, bro, this is my first time coming across your channel. I see that you went to fitness, and now you look great, but I can ask, what did you do to go to prison? And how long do you spend to get there? Well, first of all, thank you for saying that I look great. I think I look like shit still, but I'm working on getting it all back. Thank you for your kindness. So I have a company called Blackstone Labs, and I sell nutritional supplements. I've been in business since 2012. And I started out selling really strong pro hormones, awesome pro hormones. My first ever product was called Super DMZ, and it was a blend of two chemicals, methylstimulone and dimethazine. Awesome product. People loved it. This was back when the pro hormones that you could sell were really legitimate strong. Now the pro hormones we have are DHEA based, broken down and converted into metabolites that work like these other products. So it's a different step to get there. The government raided my facility in 2017 for that product that I sold in the beginning, saying that I was selling steroids is what they were saying. So we went to court. We showed them that those products, which I didn't even sell anymore, by the way, and I never got any kind of warning for, were not on any banned list. They're perfectly legal. And the government's argument was that I knew that they were supposed to be on a banned list because I had other products that were on the banned list, and this was similar to those products, and I kept on selling it because I wanted to make money and risk people's safety and all this other bad stuff that they could think of. So I said, no, not guilty. I sold it because it wasn't legal and it was a good product. And after about 6 years of fighting it, the other people that they involved broke down and decided that they wanted to work out deals to do whatever the government wanted. And I ended up going to prison for introduction of a new drug, conspiracy to defraud the government by mislabeling a dietary supplement. So, to the untrained eye, people think that I was selling things that I wasn't supposed to be selling and lying about it on the label. Not true. I've always been full disclosure, in your face. The first video I ever did, I was one of the first people to come out in YouTube videos and Instagram videos and say, this is what's in this product, this is why you should take it for everything. We changed the game for that. But it didn't matter. They gave me 54 months in prison. And I've been back for a year now. I had to do about 7 months, 6 months on house arrest, which was pretty sucky too, but better than prison. And now I'm here. Bolshoi Kush. Who was the best representative of Palumboism? Paco Batista, Marcus Haley, Big Lenny, or Greg Kovacs? So, very solid choices. I'm gonna say probably the least on that list would be Marcus Haley. I think Greg Kovacs probably had the most similar situation going on to Palumbo, yes. Paco Batista, very interesting shape. There were guys that loved Paco Batista. So you have the dinosaur style legs, right? He had a very odd torso, very short arms. And yeah, he had a really hard time, holding on to that midsection. Now I'll tell you, Greg Kovacs even facially kind of looked like Dave too. So I'm gonna say probably number 1, Greg Kovacs. I'm gonna go 2, Paco, 3, Big Lenny, and Marcus Haley 4. What do you think? Pierce Brosnan, I'm doing good. How are you, sir? Do I take Palumbo's Fiberlize or do I do a Blackstone similar product? So Blackstone does not have a similar product. We do have a product called Juiced Up, which is an amazing product that does have fiber in it. It's a mild serving of fiber also in the Juiced Up. I regularly use sugar-free Metamucil, but one day a week, we don't care about social media. One day a week I use Fiberlize for a massive clean out. And I was talking to Guy Cisternino about this last night. He does a combination of the old school Trojan horse from Blackstone Labs, which is now FLA2, Fiberlize, and Juiced Up. That's his combo. And he mixes it all up, drinks it, cleans out like crazy. He says Metamucil doesn't work for him anymore, but that's his little special recipe. Cleans him the hell out. I told him I'm too scared to do the Fiberlize every day because it works so overwhelmingly good that I'm nervous that I would get used to it and I won't have that secret weapon anymore. Did any of the trolls send you the pics of Janoy's balloon? Not yet. I've seen it all. I've seen the Janoy masturbation. I've seen things from Janoy that I truly wish that I never saw. I can't unsee some of the things that I've seen from Janoy. I hope that a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about her. Frank, what is that, German? Explain it to me. Who had the best potential to become a great pro? Dennis Newman, Phil Hernan, or Hal Gurley? Man, phenomenal list. I think, man, I don't know. That's a really hard list. I think I'm going to go with Dennis Newman. Dennis Newman was so good at 25 years old. Absolutely bunkers. I mean, they were all good. Phil Hernan's legs, nasty. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dennis Newman on that one though, for sure. Smashing Pumpkins 1979 or Wallflowers, One Headlight. Wow, it's 1979. That was the really like Smashing Pumpkins debut that like put them on people's radar, right? I liked Smashing Pumpkins a lot. When I was in high school, I was definitely way more into Smashing Pumpkins. However, One Headlight was a big hit. One Headlight. So really, Wallflowers, nowhere near as good as Smashing Pumpkins. But for these two, I'm going One Headlight on the song. Now, give me a little Bullet for Butterfly Wings or Zero. Then it's a different story. Can you DM Marissa? Absolutely. Tell her I said, what's up? Mancini, be careful with her. Cray. Get in there. Get in those DMs. You think I'm slow with my DMs, guys. She's even worse. Mancini gonna get that cut going. Milord's birthday a few months away. Can you send him drill money? He wants a coin. He wants an $800 coin, which is crazy because that's like takes me 2 weeks of work to make that money now. Mancini running the one test, Ekabolan and Don. Oh, okay. Going all out, my brother. Bolshoi Kush wants to know, I'll be or Mr. Broken Wings. That's a good one. Let me think about this for a minute. Ooh, tough one. I'm going to go with, I'll be your crying shoulder. I'll be lover suicide. Everyone kind of sang that style back then. Nick Walker is future Palumbo's follower. Could be. But that being said, I think that Nick Walker just needs to be an absolute freak. He has the most freak genetics of anyone out there. He needs to embrace that shit and be the freak of freaks. Hulk Fiber. Which WWE wrestler do you think had the best physique for a bodybuilding stage? Good question. Lex. Definitely Lex had a hell of a physique. You know, there were guys that had the bodybuilding shape and structure in the 90s quite a bit. Especially if they had gotten lean. It'd be interesting to see what they did. British Bulldog. I think if you really dieted. Scott Steiner had a very strange physique, but he did have some very bodybuilder pleasing. I mean, listen, Ravishing Rick Rude probably would have been a good classic bodybuilder if you think about it. He had a really solid physique. Bobby Lashley probably could have been a good bodybuilder if he pursued it. I don't know, I'm probably forgetting some people. Beautiful Skinny Relic says, Hope Coach K is having a good week. I bet she is. She seems to be happy. Newman was the Clark Kent of bodybuilding. You're right about that, Bullshit Kush. That's a good one. Good blast from the past. I really liked Dennis Newman's physique a lot. Rambo Jones said, hey PJ, started TRT a couple of months ago, and now my eczema is flaring up. Can it just be cold weather up here in New Jersey? Thank you. So listen, I am going to assume that it's more weather related, which can absolutely affect your eczema. That being said, are you doing your TRT with one big blast, or are you breaking it into little doses? Which, the people that just bang out a shot a week or whatever, you have more hormone changes that way. Oh, tonight was a very good one, Bolshoi Kush, yes. Shout out to Tony in London. What's going on in London right now? What are you, like 7 hours ahead? Big shout out to Best Price Nutrition. Those guys are awesome. Did Guy Cicinino ever talk about his feud with Jay Masters from years ago? Jay was trashing him on drunk. Really? I mean, me and Jay had a little battle for a while, as you guys know. I think that's hilarious. No, he never talked about it with me. I'm also not really a big fan of Creed. I'm gonna be honest. When they first hit the scene, I was listening to some Creed. Time Now. I still rewatch Dawson's Creek from time to time because of the soundtrack. Solid soundtrack. Absolutely solid soundtrack. Yes. You know what's interesting? If you want to talk about Dawson's Creek, am I wrong that Katie Holmes did the biggest 180 when it comes to hotness? Am I wrong by saying that? That Dawson's Creek, she was so hot, and it seems like she just declined rapidly fast once she got linked up with Tom Cruise, and just major decline after that. Did you notice that almost all Dagestani MMA fighters look a lot like Italians? Yes, I have noticed that. That is a hilarious thing. You know, there's one of those areas over there, Bolshoi. I don't know if it's Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan. There's an area over there where, tell me that I'm wrong, They have a very Asian look, especially through the eyes. They look like Sicilians. Katie Holmes, I don't know. I hope she's still alive. It's funny, sometimes I'll be watching and Marissa will make a comment on, she'll like, oh, that Asian guy he's good. And I'm like, he's not Asian. He's over there in one of those weird Russian countries. That being said, they're close, right? They're very, the eastern side of Europe, when you go through Russia, you make your way over there. So there's going to be some mixing, right? I do 2 shots on Monday and 1 Thursday. I'm 160 milligrams per week. I'm assuming it's the cold weather again because I was fine in April until now. Thanks again. I think that's most likely what it is. Can you break down for me why you're doing 2 shots on Monday and 1 on Thursday? Give me the breakdown of the actual shots. Or are you saying you just do 2 shots, 1 on Monday and 1 on Thursday? Scott Steiner was jacked, man. He was jacked. I got to be honest with you. I can't say that I've really seen too many of the Dagestani women. I'll tell you, my grandpa has, in his time in the Army, he traveled all over the place. And he told me that the most beautiful girls in the world that he ever saw were in Prague. He said you find beautiful women there, but in Prague specifically, the most beautiful women in the world. I always thought that was interesting. Shout out to Prague. Does anybody know anybody from Prague? Rambo Jones, it's interesting how the dips in the weather can affect your skin like that. Absolutely. Also, something to be noted, guys, like the slightest changes like that can also alter your hormones. So, for instance, a decrease in vitamin D can affect your hormones. This is why I'm really big on supplementing with D3. Christmas is in 3 weeks. That's crazy. Samurai Kubi says, hey man, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you also. What is the best belly fat reduction exercise? So here's the thing. You can't spot reduce fat. Cannot do it. I know it sucks. I wish you could. I wish you could do 1,000 crunches and just burn the fat off. So here's the way it works. Everybody has fat in different areas. Some people have it spread evenly. Some people have a fat ass. Some people have love handles, whatever. You can't target it. It comes off the way it wants to come off. And it's a combination of calories in, calories out. So if you want to decrease the body fat from your stomach, you have to be burning more calories than you're consuming throughout the week. So it's essentially what I'm trying to tell you is a combination of diet and cardio, or one or the other. I prefer both with that training. Now, that being said, you can do exercises to target your core so the muscles are bigger and stronger and push through the fat more. And, I really like reverse crunches or Roman chair crunches, decline sit-ups. You really want to contract from the bottom up to help build that muscle more. But unfortunately, you can't spot reduce fat. I've seen some drunk masters stuff. Yes, I have. Okay, Monday and Thursday. There you go. Better off. Better off that way. Eastern European women are the hottest, plus more family oriented. Oh, really? More family oriented? That's good to know. That's good to know. He also said that about Croatia, but Prague, bunch of places that I haven't been. Now, me personally, all my travels, I would say the most attractive woman that I found was Colombia, but also Spain would be the close second, especially in Madrid. Have you thought about calling your son Hercules, Achilles, Jason Genova, Braun, or anything? Actually, I thought I really liked the name Dracula, and Marissa wasn't having it. She said she felt that he would be very mad with a name like Dracula. I think Dracula is a badass name, especially if he's going to pursue, football or sports. Like Dracula Braun would have been a sick name, but no, not doing it. Pierce President says Prague is a beautiful city and people. Yeah, listen. Like I said, my grandpa was everywhere. Korea, Germany, Austria. That's what he said about Prague. Rambo Jones, 10,000 IUs every day. 10,000 IUs. It's not that much, I promise you. 10,000 IUs every day. It's honestly, this is going to sound like some bullshit. It's life-changing. It'll help keep your hormones regulated. That's one of the big benefits of D3. It'll improve your mood. It'll improve your sex drive. Yes, it improves your bone density, but there's a lot of other things that are involved with D3. In fact, I watched a video this morning that in cancer patients, they all showed a deficiency of D3. And this doctor said that everybody needs 9,600 units a day, which coincidentally, I've been taking 10,000 units for years. When I'm really, really sick, I'll sometimes blast 50,000 IUs for a few days, and it helps me get through the sickness faster. It's a big one, man. Most of the D3s now, guys, do have the K2 in it, which K2, indirectly, you get a really great benefit from the K2 because the K2 actually helps pull the bad cholesterol out of your heart and bring it down to your liver. So, most of them have a little bit of the K2 in it. I wouldn't worry much about the magnesium source, specifically with D3. But the D3 K2 combo, that's a great combo as far as absorption and the benefit you get out of it. And it's not expensive, guys. Shit, they got one at Costco that I've been using. Training is overrated. Let's all get fat and happy. Honestly, being fat makes me so unhappy. So, yes, food and treats are delicious and good. People are like, he's fat and happy. I hate being fat. And even though I've dropped my body fat quite a bit, I'm probably somewhere on a very generous side, maybe like 12%. I'm probably more like 15. But listen, I was walking around, guys, for years on an in-body scan at 9-10% body fat, just from being normal training and everything, and still eating what I wanted. So I got to get back to that point again. That's the goal. Samurai Truby says my weight is 209 pounds. Should I do rope jumping? Yes, rope jumping is great. Higher intensity cardio. What I would say to do, love you too, buddy, is do some intervals with it. Try to jump rope, right? Start with 1 minute on, 1 minute off, but you feel like you have a recovery, get back into it, but do that 1 minute hard. And if that's not challenging enough, go to 2 minutes and 1. So 2 minutes, really, really jump. Boom, 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 boom. Really get that speed going, and then rest for a minute. And by doing those intervals like that, you'll bring your heart rate up and down, which really, really, really cranks out fat burning and growth hormone production. Will you give your son proper nutrition? Yes, I am. My son is going to eat clean as hell. AOC, ugh. Can't stand her. Can't stand her. Can't stand her, Bolshoi Kush. And And it's too bad because she's not a bad-looking chick. Everything that comes out of her mouth, though. I hate being fat as well. I feel horrible. I look horrible, and it's unhealthy since getting back to the gym and seeing progress. I'm addicted like a monster. Hey, it's a great addiction to have. Go with it. Could be a lot of other bad choices, man. I missed the gym so much when I was in prison. That was a really rough stint. No weights in prison. The food was terrible. I felt like I was literally taking years off my life. When I got out of prison, my blood work was so bad. It was so bad. It was the worst, honestly, it's ever been. And I'm focused on reversing all that, which I have really. My last blood work that I just did a few weeks ago was a lot better. But really, even my first one after 3 months was a lot better. So keep it going. Hey, Rambo Jones, have an awesome day. God bless you. I'll see you in here Monday through Friday. I try to do it closer to 9. And like today, I don't have to be anywhere right after this, so I stay on a little longer. Does walking burn calories? Yes, it does. Any kind of movement burns calories. But here's the thing. If you're doing a lower intensity cardio, a steady state burn, for instance, right now, let me check my heart rate. I'm walking 3 miles per hour. I'm on a 0 incline. I have had a dust X today. So all that being said, my heart rate's at 125. So if you're going low intensity, you want to keep your heart rate 120 to 130. That's a damn good zone to be in, but you got to stay on there longer. Now, high intensity, jacking it up and then letting it come down, that promotes fat burning much faster. So if you're going to do intervals with a jump rope and you're really jumping hard, you could accomplish in 20 minutes what it's going to take probably an hour to do walking. Unless you're walking on a steep-ass incline and marching like a beast. But the thing is, just get out there and move. Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal, or Sum 41, Fat Lip. Ooh. Ooh. Man, Sum 41 had some great jams. Overall, I think I liked Sum 41 more as a band. I really like the Alien Ant Farm version of Smooth Criminal. Got a great riff to it. So I say as far as bands go, I liked more Sum 41 music, but Smooth Criminal, such a classic song. Love Michael Jackson. I think they did a great job with it. I'm going Smooth Criminal on that one. Why you Palumbo is so afraid to offend black people. When Lee Priest made a joke about blacks, Palumbo even made a video apologizing. I think Dave, first of all, I think Dave really loves everybody. I've noticed that about him. Even though Dave is very blunt with a lot of things when he speaks, he really loves everybody, and he honestly doesn't even realize when people don't like him. And he thinks everybody is nice. It's a very interesting thing about him. Like, you could talk about somebody being a huge dick, and Dave will be like, really? He's so nice. So it could be a little bit of that, you know? I have a bad habit. Wait a minute. I will do it, man. The problem is getting shit. Then I get bored. Listen. Get in a zone. Once you commit to something for a couple weeks without breaking, it's easy after that. It only takes 21 days to make something a routine. Your body adapts quick. So put it in your head. I'm going to do this for 2 weeks no matter what. Then when you get that 2 weeks out of the way, boom. It's all smooth after that. You know you can do it for 21 days. I have a bad habit of eating chips and candy every now and then, but I stay below my calorie deficit. Well, to lose it. Like I said, it comes into calories in versus calories out. You'll get to a point where you don't want that stuff anymore because you'll like the results that you're seeing with your body, and you'll realize that that stuff slows it down. But work out, put the muscle on. The more muscle you build, the more calories your body's going to burn at rest. Dave is a great man, Mancini. I hope he finds his cot. Train, Drops of Jupiter, very good song. Or Three Doors Down, Here Without You, also very good song. I've actually seen Three Doors Down perform that song live. It was great. I'm going Three Doors Down. Have I ever been to Staten Island? Yes, not in years. I had a short little stint with a chick in Staten Island back in my day. So did Guy Sister Nino, actually. Same girl. Pretty funny story. Pretty funny story. All right, guys. I'm at 56 minutes. And at this point, I'm actually starting to have to pee very bad. It's been creeping on. This often happens in the morning to me because I chug so much water in the morning. This right here, when I finish this, I will already have three quarters of a gallon consumed. You know, we're not even at lunchtime yet. So what is Sister Nino's blood pressure? I think he keeps it pretty low. Actually, it probably spikes up quite a bit. Whew. All right, guys, getting ready to shove up out of here. How many times per night that you go peeing? I usually wake up at least one time. Depending on what I take before bed. If I took a sleep aid, like last night I slept straight through to 6. I couldn't believe it. That's a long night for me. Before I got on the medicine that I'm on, man, it was like every 2 hours. Woo. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys coming on here with me. I love you all very much. God bless you guys. I will see you tomorrow.